I've been through a lot of things in my life, and I've learned to adapt. But I don't think I could have ever been prepared for what I was going to feel yesterday morning. When this domestic terror attack. To me, it's terrorism. They can, all the other journalists can call it whatever they want. It was a terror attack of huge magnitude. It was almost as horrific as 9/11. It also kind of reminded me of the Timothy McVeigh?
Yes, yes.
Back in Oklahoma City, where it's a homegrown terrorists.
Yes, yes.
And so the reason I brought you here is, here's a guy who's got a great life. Retired young. He's in his early 60s. Gets to gamble, has quite a few bucks. In fact, today they found out that he wired $100,000 to the Philippines, I guess, to look after his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Nobody knows that for a fact, but she is originally from the Philippines, and he sent $100,000. And this. So I just want to tell you the things that I've read and my interpretation, and then I'd like you to respond, Dr. Cannon. He was very methodical in what he did. He picked those two windows specifically because he knew, in my view, that that was the entrance and exit to the concert. So when he shot down at these people and panics, everybody tries to survive and they run for their life. They ran right back to that exit where he was pointed. So they were, sitting targets. He also had the guns already loaded before he started shooting, and put in the two windows, so he didn't have to stop and reload. It was I think I read 15 minutes straight of unloading ammunition on people, and 500 people were shot or grazed. 58 are dead, and hopefully that number doesn't grow. He's maimed some people. Some people won't walk ever again. Some people won't see out of their eye or hear. And on top of that, Dr. Georgina, it looked like he had another plan. I guess he had two plans because he had ingredients for explosives in the car. So what makes a person, I don't know what the fuck the word norm is anymore, but a person who's mild-mannered, he was an accountant for his career, his adult career, for making money, for making a living, and he also was a professional gambler. What makes a person like that become pure evil? And to the point, was it a political thing? Did he think, was he a Democrat and he thought that they were all Republicans? Or what makes a person twist themselves so tight that they can't rationalize anything else but murder?
I think that we have no idea what most people are thinking. I have experienced that in my clinic over the years, that when you look at someone that you assume is normal, what we would call normal, living a good life, and although he was an accountant and although he had money, we have no idea what's going on in his head. That's why this whole issue around gun control is so important. People say they want to carry guns so they can feel safe, but what that does is put the rest of the population in fear. So for those people that want to carry guns to feel safe, the rest are living in fear. And
Dr. Cannon, I really don't have a problem. Myself, if somebody wants to buy a gun, they buy a gun. Here's my problem.
Well,
if you go to a car dealership,
you've got to have some tests. When you're driving a car, you have
But Doctor, hear me out. I'm talking about the United States.
We have the United States too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if you go to a car dealership, you can buy the biggest vehicle you can buy is a tractor trailer. You can buy a pickup truck, or you can buy a large vehicle, but you cannot buy an armored tank. So my question would be, if I was to talk to the NRA, is why would a human being a regular citizen, a good citizen, need an AK-47 or a submachine gun?
Well, that's what my point is. I don't know why they would buy it. No, so he didn't have one. He had a whole armament. But I don't understand.
Well, he had over 40 guns. He had amassed over 40 guns.
That's why it was...
And he brought over 20. I think it was 27. You guys can jump in if I'm not remembering the numbers correctly. He brought in 27 guns into a casino hotel where there's cameras in every single nook and cranny.
Yes.
It's mind-boggling how he got in with all of these suitcases, one person, into his room. And here's the other thing that's mind-boggling to me. Apparently, as soon as he started shooting the first rounds, the smoke detector went off in his room.
Right.
And why did security not take off and go straight up there right away? Because from the time he shot, his first shot, to the time where the police finally opened the room and found him with a self-inflicted fatal wound, was over an hour.
Right.
And the fact is, you're right on the numbers, Frank. It was 27 and 16, I think. 16 in the Mesquite, whatever the place was outside of Las Vegas. But how he got 27? And
how the fuck did he get 27 rifles up the elevator and in your suite? And like, I understand that they were in cases and you know, the maid service and the people going in the room, because he had basically he had a computer, and I'm sure the FBI and Homeland Security are going to find out. But this man was very methodical and extremely organized in what he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
To the point where he knew exactly the tool that he needed to put a hole in that glass, which is that is one of the most strongest type of glasses. And all these hotels, the windows don't open.
Yeah, he used a hammer, didn't he?
He used a special hammer.
Yeah,
Not a regular hammer. They're like they have like a diamond tip.
Yeah.
Right? The police use them when they're going to break through something.
Yeah. Don't you think he systematically took these guns, maybe 3, 4, 5 at a time? You know, in one of those carriages, they take luggage up to the room. He couldn't have
he was there for 4 days before the shooting, John.
Yeah, but it's one guy. You know, to have 27 pieces of luggage, or even 15 for one guy, there's security all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody that's on this panel has been to Las Vegas at some time in their life. Mm-hmm. There's security everywhere. I just came back from a film festival at the Palm Hotel, and you could not get in your room after a certain time without going through security into the elevators. You couldn't walk up if you didn't have ID and your fucking room key.
Yeah.
It wouldn't let you in.
I think it depends on what they're looking for. You know, if they're used to seeing guns carried, it doesn't raise a trigger. If they're used to seeing people smuggling people, it might raise a trigger. You know, it depends on what they're looking for. We must remember that security people and the general public in certain places have been very easy about open carry, for instance.
But that's in different states. I don't think. Maybe I could be wrong with that. I don't think that there's an open carry legislation in Nevada.
And my point is, we've got used to seeing it.
Yeah, I understand. But for me,
I think what happens
this was the ultimate, the most horrific in the history of the United States terror attack by one of its own citizens.